Hello YouTube, it's darthsteve333 here again with yet another pickups video. This is a bit of an overdose, I suppose, so soon after my last one. Obviously I uploaded a video on Saturday, went to the car boot on Sunday and had probably what I would say was my best day of the year. Went to it with my mate, went to it also with a view that probably this was going to be the last big one that I go to, or big one without 10,000 resellers and lizards all roaming about, and therefore probably spent a little more than I should have, but you'll probably agree at the end of it, it was quite a good day. So anyway, I'll start off actually with a quick pickup from my local computer exchange. Went in there oddly enough on the Sunday afternoon, but for the purposes of the video this is probably going to be the best order to do it in. I'd sort of gone in there to see if there were any cube games, and there wasn't really anything that stood out. I did wonder about getting Pikmin 3 for the Wii U, which I wanted to get. I could see there was one in my local one. However, I got there and it looked like whoever had it previously hadn't looked after it. It got all sorts of marks and dents and so on in the case, so I'm thinking, right, okay, I don't think I'll bother, not for, what would it have been, about 32 quid or something. So, you know, I'd rather either pick up a new one for that or bide my time and wait for a better condition one. So anyway, I was browsing around and I did see a couple of things that I've had my eye on for a while. First one was a game for the 3DS, which is Star Fox 64 3D. So that I've had my eye on for a while, and I've been waiting to see it for a reasonable price. I think this was 18, and obviously I used some CEX credits I'd got. So yeah, very pleased to get that. Next is one that I'd actually seen someone post a video on as a sort of a hidden gem, really, for the PS2, and that was sort of backed up by a guy I think I might have mentioned him previously. Lad I actually speak to and have befriended over the PlayStation, that works in the local cash converters. So it's a game by Sega. The premise of it is very interesting. It's Blood Will Tell, and I think, sort of putting it into a nutshell, you're a samurai who a selection of devils have stolen all parts of your body. So you're sort of like as far as I can tell, like a semi-synthetic person, and he's off to get his revenge and reclaim bits of his body. So, you know, with a setup like that, you know, you can't resist. So saw that wasn't cheap. That was 15 quid's worth of credit, so I hope it's as good as it sounds it is. So right, onto the car boot. So as I say, I went to the last big one of the year that I intend to visit. Obviously there's big ones locally, but they are usually full to the brim with lizards. So anyway, went along, took my mate, he found a few things for his daughters, and I found some games. So first things first, I picked this up because I have it already for the PC, and this is for the purposes of trading. It's The Sims 3, which as you can see cost 50p. I think there's 3 or 4 quid's worth of credit in that. This was actually the first pickup of the day, which was for the original Xbox. It's Halo 2, which you'd expect me to have, and I do, but this is in a lot better shape than my my copy, so that will be an upgrade. Next thing I saw was a stall where they got a selection of 360 games, also some PS4 games and other assorted stuff, and I had a little browse through, and they're all price marked. I picked up 2 360 games and a PS4 game. The 360 games were undoubtedly sort of fairly expensive for what they were, but I picked up 2 of them. This one is an upgrade to the one that I've already got, and that's the orange box, which had £5 on it. It's in very nice shape, disc and manual. So I've got that. Dragon Age 2, which I always thought I'd had, I only actually got on the PC, so the other week I thought, right, I'll keep my eyes open for that. So that was £5 as well. Again, nice shape. Obviously Game have had their hands on it, so I've obviously seen fit to stick a bloody sticker on it, which will be removed. So that was £5, so not particularly great value so far. The PS4 game I picked up, which is one I actually have for the PS3, is The Last of Us Remastered. And I picked that up because it is A, such a good game, and B, because it's got the Left Behind DLC with it, which I had a go at last year's Eurogamer and enjoyed it. So I thought, yeah, that's worth it, and that was a tenner. So bundled them all up, and I sort of said, I'm interested in these three. What's the cheapest you'd do on them? And they said 18, which is £2 off the 20 quid it would have cost me. So I said, yeah, I'll go with that. So whichever way you look at it, it could be, I don't know, £1 off The Last of Us. So I got that for 9, and 50p each off the 360 games, £4.50 each. As I say, I'll be trading in the orange box. Well, I'll be keeping that orange box and trading in my one. So I thought that was pretty decent. So another random pickup was this, which I saw later on in the day. It's an Xbox One game, one of the release titles, one that I'd had my eye on but not at full price, and that is Rise, Son of Rome. I haven't actually played that. I had the opportunity to play a demo again at last year's Eurogamer, but couldn't face the enormous queue. So picked that up. That was £6, which again I thought was pretty decent. And if it's not, I can trade it in for pretty much the same. So there you go. This one I saw relatively late on as well. This is a PS1 game. It's WrestleMania, the arcade game. That was a £5, and I did ask if he'd go any cheaper. I offered him £4, and he said no, it is quite valuable, eBay, etc, etc. And having sort of seen it, walked around, had a look, and sort of trying to gauge if it was a reasonable price, because I can't recall seeing this for years. So disc is in pretty decent shape, couple of light scratches. I thought, yeah, I'm going to go for it. So that cost me a £5. That's one to add to the collection, which brings me on to sort of more really hardware based things. So sort of in ascending order, I found myself a very nice condition Dreamcast keyboard, which cost me £4. Now I do have a Dreamcast keyboard which I picked up earlier in the year, or perhaps at the back end of last year, but the box is pretty beat up. The keyboard's not in too bad shape, but I don't think this has ever actually been out of the box. So there we go. Couldn't resist that. In fact, the guy who stole it was on, had a selection of Spectrum games as well. He got what was it, Action Force for the 2600 as well. Most of the Spectrum games I'd already got, and they weren't in the best shape. But I just went away with this. It also got a boxed Megatron, if you like, your Transformers. I didn't even ask how much that was because I knew that would be expensive. It was in played with condition, but it was boxed. Excuse me. So Dreamcast keyboard, lovely shape, £4, brilliant. So sort of travelling back in time a bit to the earlier in the day. This was one of the first things I saw after the Halo 2 and the 360 games, the PS4 game. I actually walked past it first, then sort of did a double take and went back and asked how much it was, and it was this. It was a slimline silver, satin silver PS2. I hadn't actually clocked the box because it wasn't sort of like a normal look, and what had probably taken a few seconds to sink into this thick skull was it's got 2 controller pack, and it says built-in IR receiver for remote control. It is able to read DVD rewritables plus and minus, and it has lower noise operation. And I thought, hang on, I think I remember these. I think they were sort of quite sought after, and it looked in nice shape. Obviously the box is you know, virtually flawless, as you can see. And I had a quick look in. Well, actually what happened was I asked if I could have a quick look in, liked the look of it, and then says, oh, I might well be back for that. Anyway, I had a look at about another 10 stalls, and I thought to myself, you leave that, mate, and someone will have it. And they wanted 20 quid for it, and I thought, well, that is probably by some distance the best PS2 I'll own. So excuse me if I'm appearing a little distracted, my cat is sniffing around everything, so apologies. I'm giving her a fuss now actually. You going to say hello to YouTube? No you're not, okay. So I went back and I said, what's the cheapest you do on that? And they said, well really we were looking for 20, but we will throw in a game. So they had a choice of two. I think one was a Need for Speed game, I think it was Need for Speed Underground, and the other was Tourist Trophy. Now I've got both of them, but I thought I'd pick up this one. There you go. So that will be traded, but obviously the PS2 will be kept, and that will replace one of my loose PS2s, I believe. So if anyone is after a loose PS2, give me a shout. So pretty good so far, you'd think. That's not the best of it. Pretty much getting towards having seen all, in fact I had seen all of the car boot bar 2 last stalls. Something caught my eye on the penultimate stall, which was a guy who was still actually setting up, and it was quite late in the morning, it was quite foggy early, and we must be, what, a good 2.5 hours into having been there. So sort of found my way round to the end, and I saw this guy unpacking a little basket of assorted bits and bobs, no rhyme or reason to it, just odds and sods. Something caught my eye, and it was this. It was just on its own a loose Master System Mark 1, and I sort of picked it up because I thought, oh Christ, someone's missed this or hasn't seen it yet. And I asked the guy, I says, how much is it? £1. I says, well, I didn't say you're kidding, but I thought, you're kidding. And he says, I says, oh, £1? And he says, yeah, £1. So obviously couldn't get in my pocket quick enough, gave him £1, and thought to myself, well, even if it doesn't work, I can at least use the shell, because on my existing one, it's a bit beat up around this section here. So picked it up, took it away, thought I'll try that when I get home. Tried it when I got home, it works perfect. It's the one with Hang On and Safari Hunt on it. So well pleased with that. Master System 1 for £1. On the very next stall, which was, as far as I'd viewed it, the very last stall, something else took my attention, and it was this. Box Mega Drive Mark 1. Obviously the box is in pretty decent shape. I mean, you know, it's pretty good all over, apart from, you know, a bit of wear around the edges, and obviously there's a bit of sort of a rip there and there, and a bit of a fold there, but other than that, it's great. It's got all the cardboard inserts, it's got a virtually untouched manual, it's got a little poster of Sonic with a selection of games on the back. It is missing a controller, and it is missing the Sonic game, but I do have spare controllers, so I'll put one of those in here, and I'll put my spare Sonic in as well. I think that must have been loose back in the day. Oh yeah, there's a bit of a scrape on the top, but got talking to the lady, and I said, how much is that? And she says, well, I was asking for 30, but I've made my mind up, I'll do it at 25. And I had an hour about it, and I thought, well, I do have a number of Mega Drives, but I haven't got a boxed Mega Drive 1. And it just looked so nice, and obviously, I don't know if you like me, but you like the boxes, and you can see all those things on the back, all the old games. I thought, I can't not take this away. So I said, would you take 20 for it, after a moment or two's sort of thought? And she says, oh, I suppose I can, you little shit. And I thought, well, that's one way of selling, but it was all said in jest, and handed over me £20 and walked away with it under my arm. And on the way back to the car, I had a quick look at a guy who'd been setting up. He's like a reseller, but he's a nice reseller. He's a friendly guy. He doesn't sort of sting people on things. And I'd sort of swung by his stall now that he'd set up, and I saw some of the new Star Wars Infinity 3 figures. And I just picked it up. I think it was Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia, and I was just having a little browse at that. So it got that marked up at 40 quid. which I thought was a little bit much. Having said he don't really sting people, but yeah, I just don't look at the quality of the figures. I like the look of them; they look pretty decent. But anyway, I sort of looking at him, put him down, and he says, "Don't I tell you what, I'll do your swap for your Mega Drive." I says, "Oh no, no, no." I says, "I've been looking for one like this for a long time." So anyway, we had a bit of a chat, and I got talking about gaming in general and the old stuff, and showed him a few pictures of arcade club, as I've done to anyone who has any interest in games in the last couple of weeks. And while we're talking, another guy comes up, must have been a reseller. He says, "Oh, don't mind me asking, mate, but how much you get that for?" I says, "Oh, 20 quid. He says, "Oh, you've done well there, mate." I says, "I know." I says, "That's going right in my collection when I get home." So anyway, that pretty much was that. Went back to me mate, sort of joked to him. I says, "When my missus sees all this, like she's going to kill me or evict me or something." And we had a bit of a joke and went home. But that is pretty much the pickups. Quick shout out to the host who I had a quick chat with in the comments on my last video. I hope you had as good a day as I did, mate, because I was well pleased with that. And you know, fingers crossed, I'm seeing one of your videos up soon, sort of, you know, with equally good finds. So good luck. Well, good luck retrospectively, I don't know. Anyway, that's about enough from me. It will be a couple of weeks or so now before I post another video, because this weekend I'm going to Eurogamer, so I'm deep into conserving what remains of my funds. And I think probably beyond that point it's going to be little car boots with you know, an overpopulation of resellers and lizards. So I doubt I'll get anything this good for a while, but you know, keep watching, you never know. I'll keep looking once I've got the funds and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. Thanks to me people that have subscribed. Stick with me, hopefully I'll keep the good finds coming. And this is me, darthsteve333, signing off. Bye.